Hey, all right. Good evening, everybody. Drew Griffin here. And yes, I am not the host of this show. Roseanne Santos will be here in just a minute. She's running a little bit behind. She's doing some things with her hair and doing all the kind of stuff that you amazing women do. But she'll be here in just a minute with our special guest. Hey, I just wanted to introduce myself again. I am really not the person behind the scenes here. It's Roseanne. And I wanted just to kind of explain a little bit about this format and what we're really looking to do, the idea behind this podcast, and what Roseanne wants to bring to all of you. So if you wouldn't mind, do me a favor and let me know that you can see me, that you can hear me. Roseanne and Beckie will be here in just a minute, but I wanted to kind of warm up the room a little bit and let you guys know what this process is going to look like. For transparency, I've had a lot of discussions. Roseanne and I have been talking pretty much every day, several hours every day. And we wanted to give you a peek kind of behind the scenes of the evolving process of this podcast, to be transparent and show you behind the scenes, what we're doing, all the work that's going involved in this, and how it's going to benefit all of you. So without further ado, we're going to be bringing Roseanne on in just a moment. This is the podcast forum. Relatively soon, this show will be syndicated outside of the Fight Club for Women Facebook group, right? There's going to be an element here where the audio version is going to be on a real podcast, right? Out there on iTunes and Stitcher and all the places that you can find podcasts, right? So you can listen to this stuff on the road, or you can check in live when we do these recordings, where all of you will probably be getting some FaceTime here with Roseanne and Beckie, myself here, and an opportunity to promote yourself and your businesses and all the cool stuff that you guys are into. But we want to show you behind the scenes what we're doing so that you can start to leverage this technology as well. Learn alongside Roseanne and Beckie as we start to get this out there into the world for all of you. There's a lot of power behind this emerging technology with Facebook Live and being able to syndicate it over onto LinkedIn and to YouTube and to Twitch. These are all brand names that you're probably familiar with. These are massive, massive audiences out there that hopefully will be able to share your voice, share your vision, share all the really cool stuff, all the cool shit that you guys are into out there, right? I'm just kind of helping pave the way a little bit to help promote all of you by way of Roseanne, Fight Club for Women, Beckie, and all of you amazing people. So without further ado, I want to bring on Roseanne and Beckie now. We're going to kind of get into the rest of the show now. We're going to be about a minute early, and we'll get into it, right? So really excited to be hanging out with everybody tonight. Without further ado, my good friends, Roseanne Santos and Beckie.
Hi.
Hey guys, how are you?
Wonderful.
Doing great. How are you?
Look who it is, right? So I'm going to move myself all the way over to the right here. I'm not sure if that did anything for you on your screen, but
Hi, let me hug.
yeah, look, check out who it is.
Virtual hug. It's Beckie
Yeah.
in the bathtub.
Beckie in the bathtub, Roseanne in the basement.
Hey, like I said, all good stories start in funky places. You know, remember that. They you know, I know many people started like grand businesses and things like that out of their garages. So Beckie in the basement and Beckie in the bathtub and Roseanne in the basement. They, you know, just
it fits. Go figure. It's original, right?
I love the acoustics in there that you're hanging out in that bathtub. I love seeing your pretty face there, girl.
Yeah, honey, you just got your hair done. You got some curls and color.
I'm going to be doing a shout out to my daughter-in-law and showing also the power behind marketing and how this is done. My daughter-in-law called me and wanted to gift me my daughter-in-law. I like that.
Her still daughter-in-law. Okay.
Rusanne. See how you spelled my name there?
There.
Antoinette, my daughter-in-law, called me up and as a gift for my birthday, she said, "Come on in. I need to do something with that head." And believe me, it was a hot mess today. Sat me in a chair, gave me the whole spa treatment, and did my thing. So I'm definitely going to be doing a shout out. If there's anybody in the Levittown area, go to Denise's hair salon there, and Drew has the information. You're going to call on the phone and ask for Antoinette and tell her that her lovely mother-in-law sent you. And I'm sure she'll hook you up with something, a little extra. So go see Antoinette, bother her, tell her her mother-in-law sent you, So
Oh, that's awesome.
One more time here. We got Denise's Hair Care's telephone number. If somebody in the audience wouldn't mind typing that into the comments below, that'd be awesome. Denise's Hair Care, 215-547-6573. And if you wouldn't mind, whenever you're watching this, go ahead and give that number a call. Just let them know that Roseanne was there and they heard really good things about the hair care. Even if you don't get to, schedule an appointment there, give them a call and let them know that you heard about this on the Fight Club for Women's podcast. And I think that's going to really impress Denise's Hair Care's business over there. So without further ado, guys, dig into it. I know that you guys have a lot of catching up to do, and let's kind of get into it. Let's kind of find out where Beckie has been and a little bit more about Beckie.
Let's hear it, girl. We talk all the time, but I want everybody to know all the exciting things where was Beckie? That was the common question. Where'd Beckie go? And I'm like,
where did Beckie go? Well, I've been in the bathtub. That's where I've been. No, really, I really wish that I had been in the bathtub this whole time. Honestly, I can't remember time since COVID's been here. And I feel like what was a year ago, flash forward, is like 4 years ago. When I start to talk to people about time, it's like, you didn't realize that a couple of years passed. I've got one that's a sophomore in college now. And for any of you who knew me way back when, I mean, my kids were not little, but they were young enough. So, gosh, what have I been up to? Where do we go back to? You know what? When we were in Fight Club together and we were running the Mind Fit Masters Alliance, the MMA, and we were doing small group classes and we were doing big, large events. We were having so much fun. And our head was just spinning and twirling with, I say squirrel ideas because I have ADHD and I get easily distracted. And any squirrel that comes in any one direction just kind of takes my focus in one direction or another. Hey, Donna. But as we were doing that, we were building and growing Fight Club for Women. I think I got so consumed because I also own a family business. And my family business is Pressure Wash Carolina. It's with my husband. It's been around 10 years. And, this was 4 years ago. I can't remember time. 2 years ago. But I'm also a busy entrepreneur in the way that I don't just own a traditional business. I drive 500 miles a week, every other week, to take my son to school an hour away. And then doing all these events that I was doing, I was kind of burning the candle at both ends and up the middle, and the wick was splitting. And I just wasn't sure where I was going and what direction I was going in. And so I had to really kind of take care of me. And, we talked for years and forever about self-health, and your self-health matters. And I think that one thing that we do as women, and I'm as guilty of it as anybody else, is chasing rabbits sometimes. And I can't get back time. And you guys can't either. I mean, the one common denominator that every single one of us have that we've been gifted with is the 24 hours in a day, but we can't ever get it back. And so running as a busy, crazy entrepreneur who owns a traditional business, who has employees, and some goes to school an hour away, life just got super crazy for me. So I just kind of let up a little bit. There's our website. Yeah. So my husband and I, this is our company, Pressure Wash Carolina. We are actually based in North Carolina, right outside of Charlotte, and we serve a 30-mile radius. And there's me. We serve
Becky, me and you were seeing what he's doing right now live. We didn't know that you didn't know he was going to do this. I didn't know he was going to do this. But again, using this platform, ladies, to show you what can be done. And you are literally taking this journey right along with us. So Becky's like, surprise, there's my business. Like, okay. Like, again, didn't know any of this was going to be happening. So that's the beauty of what, you and I are doing here right now, showing these women this, and you being surprised just like me, what he just did. I mean, as simple as that was. So go ahead, keep going. I'm sorry I interrupted you because that's
no, you're good. But so I think life just kind of got in the way. And then I've been a coach for any of you that have known me for almost 25 years now. lifestyle, fitness, nutrition, health, mostly mindset and lifestyle coach and personal trainer. And I received a call and was asked to be a coach for another company. And you know what? I felt like God was calling me in a direction to coach women because I struggled with my weight and my mindset and the skin that I was in with an eating disorder for over 23 years. And so when I was asked to be a coach, I felt like I couldn't say no because I felt like I had been through a journey myself to help people love the skin that they're in. It's part of me to give back in some way, shape, or form to help those women love themselves again. So I did coaching for a couple of years while I was still working our Pressure Wash Carolina business. Roseanne and I never lost touch. We've kept in touch and friends the whole time, even though this group
People wondered, they thought we had a falling out. What happened? I'm like, oh no, we're still, we both burned out at the same time, ironically. So
yeah.
it was perfect.
Yeah. And then what happened was life hit again. And I had one of those crossroads in life where my boys at the time were in 10th grade and 7th grade. And they, along with my husband, sat me down and had one of those, you may have had one of these moments or talks before with your family or somebody that you love. They had one of those talks with me, and I hold this rock and I'm going to share it. I don't know if you guys can see it. Can you see that?
Listen to sage advice.
Listen to Okay. They had one of these talks with me, and I needed to listen to this sage advice. And they said, Mom, honey, you're saving the world. You're going out there and you're helping and you're saving everybody. You're coaching 30 women a week, which is taking 20 to 25 hours a week of your time. You are involved in community service. You drive 500 miles a week every other week to take my 2 boys to school. And then I'm down in another city for 10 hours a day waiting until they're done while I'm working. You work our business 40 hours a week. And when you start to add up, and the calculator came out, when you start to add up how many hours are in a day, how many days are in a week, and how many hours are in a week, and you subtract the commuting and all the working I was doing, in addition to, oh, by the way, I have to sleep. There were no hours left for my family.
Yeah, for your family. Yeah.
You know, let alone me. And for those of you that know my story, you know, I was a single mom for years, and I've been married to my husband now for 10 years. So he and I together have been raising our 2 boys, but we share custody with their father. So half their life, which is every other week, I don't even get to see them. And so with the amount of time that I was putting out towards giving good vibes to everybody else, I was taking it away from what my family wasn't getting. And so I had to really look my kids and my husband in the face and say, I can't change the past. I can't get back any more time. All I can do is make a decision now and try to be smarter with the time that I have. But that meant I had to sacrifice something. And so I resigned from coaching. So I resigned from coaching, and that was really difficult, just like resigning from doing our MMAs and resigning from going out and doing the women's girls group clubs. It was really difficult because I feel like God has called me to be with women, to inspire them and encourage them and motivate them. But the time factor wasn't on my side. And so I resigned from coaching. I was coaching with Lady Boss. I was one of their very first coaches that came on board, and I was with them for several years. I resigned with them, and that was hard. That was hard to let my 30 clients go. And over that course of the time, I coached several hundred women to lose weight and love themselves. And when I did that, it was like a death. Just like when I wasn't active as much in Fight Club for Women and in women's anything, it was like a death. It was a mourning period. It was hard. But then life happened and COVID hit 10 days later. And when COVID hit 10 days later, I felt like the world had changed in a positive way for my family. Because for the first time ever, I wasn't driving 500 miles every other week. I wasn't having to get on coaching calls for 30 hours a week and answer my Voxer all the time. I wasn't burning the candle at both ends and up the middle anymore. I was just working my 40, maybe hours a week with our business. My kids were now homeschooled in high school. My son did his senior year in high school, and my other one was doing his ninth grade year in high school. I mean, we built an amazing, huge 3 raised bed garden in the backyard. Like that next
I was
year.
impressed. I saw that. I was like, Becky, who doesn't have a green thumb, can't cook. Suddenly she's sending me pictures of videos of cucumbers that are like, not, I'm like, Becky, what are you doing? And she's canning, she's doing this, she's doing that. I'm like, oh my God, not what I expected. Totally not.
I went from one extreme to the other. I was like home cooked mama and, garden green thumb and, I mean, but it's funny how, I say it's God, but it's funny how life, God, the universe, whatever you believe, is going to bring things your way sometimes when you need it the most and you expect it the least. Right. And so that was probably one of the best years my family ever had. It almost erased all the negative time that I lost, that I was able to get back. And I was able to like do some recentering and refocusing. And so fast forward to now. And here we are. We're here with you guys. I have another chapter, and then here we are with you.
Yep. Here we go, full circle, coming back again. And it's exciting. I've been, again, we've never lost touch. So I've always, known what you were doing, and I can respect everything you said because I experienced the same thing on my end. Except I do have different time because I've been retired pretty much all these years, and in grandma mode. So I did have that time, and I was always like telling women, like, I never chased the dollar. I was, financially set and secure and all that good stuff. But I was always, I didn't chase the dollar, but I chased the lifestyle that the dollar can bring.
The dream.
Yeah. And that's where I've always been. Like, I was never, like I said, chasing the dollar, trying to make the money. That was never my thing. But I do like the lifestyle that we all need money to make happen. And so I was in a different position in the year that I am home, and I had the more time, and but I was in grandma mode. I totally shift gears. I mean, the mere fact I had to put a bra on today was that's the one thing that the pandemic taught me, that bras are not necessary.
I need to whip them off at the end of my day every day.
Bra on for this. I was just like, oh my God. My husband says, you're really a little too comfortable at home, Like, I even put lipstick on it. It's like, oh, you putting lipstick on? That's not something I've seen in a couple of years. I'm like, well, I got to do this podcasty thing here, so I got to look the part. But but it's cool. I'm glad you're back here again. I'm excited because what we plan on utilizing your role in here, because your fitness. I mean, you're Becky. That's Coach Becky. The tips and this and that. So, ladies, if you're paying attention right now, we're gonna be making like a show out of this, and there's gonna be different segments to the show. A little bit of learning, a little bit of talking about different women, hearing their stories, talking to women that are in business. And then Becky's segment is going to be Coach Becky. We're always going to get tips from Becky, how to do it, maybe an exercise. I mean, you can tell she's going to talk more about what she's going to do, but I that's where I see your role at. I mean, I'm talking live to you right here, just sitting here. Everybody's listening to our conversation as if we were girlfriends on the phone right now. But
yeah,
I want you to tell me what your role is, what you want to do, how do you see yourself
tricep dips for Grandma Angelina, and you got any fat swinging from your arm? Yeah, I'll do that bathtub exercise.
Pull that old video out from back in the day. That was pretty comical, So I've always looked to you for guidance for the health and fitness, and oh my God, am I eating the right things? Am I doing this? Am I doing that? And you were always a big, girl, drink your water. Did you drink your water today? Call me up on the phone. So to have you do our Self-Health Matters, Coach Becky, Lady Boss, whatever, to do all this is going to be wonderful. And these women are going to learn a lot just from what you're going to present here. So it's, I'm excited. I'm excited about how this is going to roll out. I don't know exactly how it's going to roll out. You girls are all in for the same ride as the rest of us right now, but we do know that there's a lot of cool things that are being planned, and the idea of them watching us progress and take notes and what we're doing That's the cool thing about this. So,
Yeah.
hey, Drew, you out there? Are you hiding back? Oh, there he is. Jeez. Can't hear you, Drew.
You're muted, honey.
Thanks. Yeah, so much confidence in my tech ability. I'm just sitting here because I was coughing in the background and watching you guys and laughing and just watching and monitoring the comments that clearly everybody's fond of Beckie, and it's just good to see you guys talking and sharing stories and whatnot. And I think what I'd like to kind of shift into is what Beckie's doing currently. I know I just have to say, this is a kind of a backhanded compliment and comment that clearly you've got a lot going on. I mean, just looking at your husband and your business that you've got going on, that's super, super busy. And of course, you're being a mom and you're driving back and forth and all this kind of stuff. And here you are joining us live talking about, your day-to-day stuff. And part of that, what you're doing now, is one of the reasons that we wanted to jump on here and kind of talk about, right? So you've got this other venture, right? You kind of left something and you're kind of migrating back into it. I think what I noticed from you is that you've got a passion for healthcare. You've got a passion for health and wellness and fitness, and that comes through in who you are. So what are you doing these days in terms of, are you back into coaching? What is it that you're doing these days?
Yeah. No, thanks for asking. And I'm in the bathtub, by the way, just so you know, I'll know, because during COVID, this would be the only retreat that I had, like where my 2 dogs and my cat and 2 boys and my husband, like this is my safe place, right? So this is where I would do my meditations daily. Tip: if you need a place, a safe space, quiet, put some candles on. I'm sweating like a pig right now because my candles are blowing this room up, but you need a place, I open my window. And then I ended up using this for Zoom. And so I just, throughout the past few years, this is where my quiet place is, because I don't have an office in my house. I don't. Anyway, you know what? Here's what I'm doing. I'm working our business full time through Pressure Wash Carolina. And a couple of months ago, probably October, November, I felt God calling me back to women again. And I remember reaching out to Roseanne about this. And I'm like, I feel like I need to go back to women. Actually, back up 12 months. 12 months ago, 18 months ago, my husband and I were talking that I didn't know anybody in my neighborhood. And we had lived here like 7 years. Like I knew nobody, but it's because I spent so much time driving and traveling back and forth. And in one of the Christian business groups that I'm in, I have mentors in there. And they had said to me, you kind of stopped working Fight Club for Women, which was consuming a lot of your time. You're working your Pressure Wash Carolina business and you're doing amazing, and your sales skyrocketed when I just focused on that. But I felt a void in my life, and that was missing women. And they said, you know what, maybe you end up building something in your backyard. And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. They're like, maybe in your neighborhood. And I'm like, I don't even know how that's possible. I don't even know my neighbors. How do you meet your neighbors? And so after that seed was planted, I slowly met one neighbor and then another neighbor. And then one of my neighbors, who's a couple decades older than me, her and I met, and we just clicked and became good friends. And she's new to the area. And she said, you know what? I don't know anybody here. I want to meet some people. And I said, how about if together we invite some ladies in the neighborhood, we do a girls' night out, and we have a meet and greet. We have some apps, we have some drinks, and we're just there to meet one another. And she said, that would be wonderful. I would love to meet some women. So she invited a couple, I invited a couple, and that turned into the very first one exactly a year ago in December. We had 8 women. And then from there, which was my goal, we would build relationships with women in our community, in our backyard. It wasn't for business. Could turn into that, but it's really learning the tribe of the women in your community and how you can really support each other and how strong we are for each other, but maybe we don't know each other. Mm-hmm. And so that led into one girl wanting to host at her house. And then we invited neighbors and they brought neighbors. And then another girl, another month. And I think the biggest one we had almost 25 women at just over these past 12 months. And that was a huge blessing in my life. And that was something that filled an amazing large void that I had. From there, I felt God calling me, strangely enough, into women's ministry. And I'm not a pastor. I'm not a religious person. I'm a woman of faith. I'm a Christian. I have a very strong belief in God and Jesus Christ, but I have a belief in helping women believe in themselves and knowing that faith is something we can't see. We just have to believe it. It's just like believing in yourself. Like you either believe or you don't believe, but you might believe because you believe that you believe type thing. And I felt like God was calling me into ministry, and I didn't know what that meant. And I shared it again with my Christian mentoring group. And they said, maybe in addition to the neighborhood and the community, maybe this means you're going to do something in a church. And I'm like, well, I just joined a church. You know, we just got out of COVID and I didn't go to church and I didn't belong anywhere. And I've been doing it all online. I don't really even go anywhere. And they said, well, maybe there's something for you. At the same time, I ended up getting a call from the company that I was coaching with, which is Lady Boss, that they had closed their doors, and that they got reacquisitioned and acquired by a man named Russell Brunson, who is the founder and owner of ClickFunnels. And Russell Brunson was taking this company on kind of like a Lady Boss 2.0, but they weren't doing coaching. And I was excited about that because I knew the company like the back of my hand. And the philosophy was to teach and help women believe in themselves, to love the skin that they're in, while they're losing weight, getting fit, changing habits, changing their mindset, changing nutrition, doing little itty bitty baby steps, taking a bite of the elephant one bite at a time. And they were looking to all their coaches because they had a 21-day Love Yourself challenge. And we're the ones that helped create that 21-day Love Yourself challenge. I was a part of that initially. So they reached out and asked, would I be interested in being a founder with them? And I said, if you're offering this challenge, absolutely, because it's a free challenge to women to get them acquiring new daily habits to love themselves. And that's actually what I did for years as a coach. I was teaching women how to love the skin that they're in, a baby step at a time. So I came on board with them as a founder towards the end of this past year in December. At the exact same time, I applied for women's ministry. And I remember reaching out to Roseanne about this because we are such big believers, myself, Roseanne, in personal development, getting your mind fit. And I'm such a big believer in getting your body fit and getting your spirit fit. Because if there's an equilibrium issue, then you don't have a lot of balance in your life. And I'm the first to say I'm out of balance. I'm out of whack, you know, and I'm messed up from the neck up, just like everybody else, because none of us are perfect. And so what I did was I applied for ministry at my church. And I said, I'm new here. I know you don't know me. I am asking to create a women's group like you've never had before, because I feel like God is really speaking to me to make a difference in my community, to help women love themselves, but to get their temple fit. And when I say temple, I'm saying your mind, your body, and your soul. And so I wanted to teach, train, and incorporate a program that was going to help women work on the mindset so that they could strengthen the biggest muscle that they have, which is your mental muscle, your mindset. They could work on the body with what they're physically doing by working out, by the nutrition you're putting in your body, by, you know, how you're taking care of yourself, and by your soul. The energy that you're around, maybe positive or negative people, reading scripture, reading positive development things, taking care of your mind, body, and soul. And so I wanted to create a class called Woulda, like you shoulda, coulda, woulda, but you didn't. And the Woulda stands for Women's Ultimate Temple Transformation Academy. And I submitted 15 letters of reference of, you know, fellow clients that I coached and mentors that I had, and other coaches I worked alongside, people I worked for over the past years, and just said, will you give a character reference to me, for me, on how I can impact women or what you've experienced? And I told them my limit is 100 women. And they said, you want to do a small group with 100 women? I said, well, my vision is 100 women in the church that are part of this temple transformation. And I want to be a part of that because I feel like I'm the vessel, I'm the tool, I'm the vehicle God's just using me. And the spiritual gifts that I believe he's given me are encouragement and motivation and inspiration. Couple that with being fit, fine, and full of faith. I believe I can make a difference, and I want to be a part of that. And if I can walk off this earth and know that I do that, then I'm making an impact, and it's impacting me when I'm changing someone else's life. And so I was accepted to come on board for ministry as of January of this year for the church locally here where I live. And at that time, Lady Boss announced that they're going to be rolling out this 21-day lose weight and love yourself challenge, absolutely free. And I was super excited about that because I thought, you know what, these are two things that are aligning with my focus of taking care of your temple, taking care of your self-health, not stretching yourself. Yes, I'm volunteering, so I have to be careful of my boundaries and my time that I'm giving, but I'm so clear now on the time I give to things, because just like you, any of you, when you say yes to one thing, you're saying no to something else. And when I had to look my kids in the eye and say no to them and say yes to something or someone else, I had to validate that because I knew that I wasn't ever going to get that time back. And so now this couples with Roseanne, not like adding an extra thing on your plate, Beckie, but I believe that they're all moving together. And the common theme and the denominator is, how do we help women believe in themselves? How do we help them love themselves? How do we, whether you're looking to lose weight, get fit, get your mindset, whatever it is, build your business, grow your business, make $1 million, make an impact, new nonprofit, whatever. How do we make an impact and inspire women to believe in themselves and encourage themselves and then pay it forward so that they can encourage other women? And now I feel like I'm starting to align with where I'm supposed to go. I don't have it right all the time. I don't have it perfect. I'm messed up. I make mistakes. And I love that, because if I'm not learning, I'm not growing. And if I keep doing the same mistakes and expect different results, that's the definition of insanity. And I am there sometimes. But that's kind of where I am right now and what I'm doing. And I'm just excited to be a part of this and be real, raw, and true with you guys. As you know, that Roseanne and I are like, we are two different women with two different approaches and two different beliefs on a lot of things.
Most things.
A lot of things.
We identify on a lot of things. And that's what brought us together. There was the main core stuff we totally identify with. And that was always the mission behind Fight Club. The whole mission was always been about, helping women grow, teach them, show them, put all different types of women together in a room and learn from each other. So it's like the timing is right now. Like, we've had a couple years to hit the reset button and grow this thing, and now come back reinventing myself. Like, I'm really a different person than I was 8 years ago. And when I originally thought about this whole crazy idea that everybody was like, Fight Club for women, are you fighting? Are you actually? And like, no, we're not fighting. And of course, every man out there has been trying to get into this group for years. I've been decline because they think they're gonna join in a group where they're seeing a bunch of women knock out of each other. Yeah, like, no, we're not fighting it. It's whatever you're fighting for. It's, like, there was a whole thing, but it had a couple years to hit the reset button. Get things back in balance again. And I, like you, had the same issues. My husband and again, I'm not the religious person, but he had to come to Jesus talk with me. It was like, woman, you're out there trying to save the world. And meanwhile, he's in the background going, hello, hello, me over here. Do you notice me? And I'm like, oh yeah. But I gotta help all these women. And it was very, very draining, and that was I never stepped away completely, but I did step back in the organization that we created, that in a way that how we were putting it out there, so, but I always knew that, keep tending the garden, tending the garden, like that in time, this would all come back full circle again, and we would meet again, except this time it's Fight Club for Women 2.0. I was trying to look for that when you said 2.0. I'm like, that's what I wanted to say. Fight Club for Women 2.0. Like,
we are beta testing this stuff, guys. Like,
you ladies are watching.
I've never done a podcast before, let alone in the bathtub with two other people.
Yeah, I see that. As I said, Drew, we're gonna have to do a 3-way, and I'm in the basement, she's in the bathtub. He's like, okay.
All right. Hey,
Fully
you
clothed.
know, get your freak on, right?
Yeah, get your freak on. So, so it's the timing. And again, ladies, whoever's watching right now, and you'll catch the playback, you're watching this process live as it's happening. Are you allowing men now in the Fight Club? No, not technically. But we do have, funniest thing is, when we started Fight Club for Women, we actually did start a Fight Club for Men. And I passed that off. Like, I started it, and then I passed it off to honorary guys like Drew and Bobby Fletcher. So I was like, all right, guys, here's the platform. We're doing it over here for the ladies. You guys should, get something going over there for the guys. So I'm not going to say that we'll never merge, maybe, have some roundtable talks and bring some men in and like the Fight Club for Men and the Fight Club for Women meet, kind of thing. But no, the men are not going to be like joining this group. No. But
This is your safe place. Yeah.
This is a safe place here. But when we Drew was explaining to me, like, doing these podcasts, obviously we're going to be having talks, and there's women are going to be sharing stories, and share as much as you want, but just be aware that Drew, you were calling it the onboarding process or something you were explaining.
Yeah. Listen, for anybody that's concerned, I'm not going to be mansplaining or anything like that in here. I'm really just, listen, women are very important to me in my life. My mom, my sister. I'm married. I've got 3 daughters and no sons. So I understand how important women are, and the messages, the stories, the things that all of you have are important, and they need to be heard by the world. So Roseanne and I have been really good friends for a number of years, and I've had some very good success in the emerging technology world. And I thought I would, excuse me, I thought I would offer to show what has worked for me in my business and in this world of technology, and how you can leverage it to expand and get your word out there. And she graciously asked me to come on and kind of show her the ropes and some stuff behind the scenes. And that's what I'm here for. I'm just really try to help facilitate. And I'm just really want to sit back and enjoy the stories. And speaking of which, we're going to try to be mindful of Beckie's time and everyone else's time here. I want to ask Beckie, and we actually have a question. It's a legacy question about how you two met. But before we answer that, let's give Beckie an opportunity to share something about this challenge. I know that there's a challenge going on right now. Can you give us maybe a quick overview of what that is and where people can go to find out more to join that challenge?
Yes. So I'm so super excited about this. So you all know, or you've heard the saying before, it takes 21 days to make a habit, right? Okay. So Lady Boss launched this challenge that I was so blessed and lucky to be a part of the first time around. We actually did it for 28 days, but we realized after day 21, people kind of fell off. Okay. So we revisited it, revised it. Now it's 21 days. It's going to start on Monday, February 13th. And every Monday, a new challenge will begin. So you can enroll at any time. You don't have to enroll today. You don't have to enroll before a certain deadline. But if you want to start this new challenge, which is the very first one that's being launched this year ever, tonight at midnight is the enrollment deadline for you to start for the first one launching for Monday the 13th. So
an example, what does a challenge look like? What
Okay. So the challenge is you're going to have, you will join the challenge for free, cost you nothing for 21 days. Every day in the morning, you will log in to a Facebook group that you'll be invited into once you join and accept entrance into the challenge. And a coach will be going live and teaching you a habit. One small habit that you can do that is going to positively impact your life, your health, your mindset, to be able to shift you in a positive direction. Any way, shape, or form. I've seen hundreds of women have life transformations just over this challenge. Okay. And so it might be something small like writing an affirmation down. Okay. Or it might be something small like drinking water first thing in the morning, or drinking 10 sips before you're done and you're getting in your 10 sips, or it might be something small like doing a meal replacement shake a day, or it might be something small like do a couple squats. But every single day for 10 to 15 minutes, you're going to have a live coach that's going to go into this private Facebook group and is going to give you a challenge to do. You can log in anytime throughout the day. It's always recorded. And you're going to be in there with thousands of other women in a private, very supportive group where they're very much like Fight Club for Women. There's been over 500,000 lady bosses. So there's no judgment. It is only positive. It is only supportive. What happens there stays there. And everyone's there to spread sparkle and love on one another as you're going through this challenge. I'm doing it too. Okay. So I'm doing it with you. I need to work on some things too. And I'm just as guilty of it. So that's what the challenge pretty much is. There's no obligation for you to do anything. Just sign up for it and show up. If you show up, great. I say if you show up, you'll grow up because you will get something out of that challenge. There's no way that you can't. And I guarantee growth with everybody that works with me personally and everybody that goes through the challenge. You know, I will help you. I retired as a coach, but once a coach, you're always a coach. I will coach you if you need help. I will be there as a support system with you. And the one thing, I love this, is I produced this years ago. This is me. This is my exercise. This is my exercise CD. And it's called Burn Fat, Back to the Basics workout. And I am giving this away free to everybody that joins the challenge with me now to eternity, because I want to be in your back pocket. I want you to download. You're not getting a hard copy, but you're going to download a digital link. I can be on your phone. I can be in the airport with you. I can be at the hotel with you. I can be in the bathtub with you. And I can work out with you and give you instruction. And it has nothing to do with the challenge. It's just me with you. And it's an opportunity for me to guide you on your self-help and your journey. And then with the challenge, you do have an opportunity to do the challenge and get a challenge kit. A challenge kit is where you get like 4 different types of exercise bands, and it comes with a water bottle, and it comes with a hard physical paperback copy of the 21-day challenge. And then it also comes with 20 sachets. This is a women's protein shake that was designed by Lady Boss for women only. And that'll come in a challenge kit. Now you can do the challenge for free and you don't have to get a challenge kit. It doesn't cost you a thing, or you can do it and you can get a challenge kit. It's totally up to you. And so what I told Roseanne was that if you guys want to do the challenge, I'll include my link. You can click the link. And then once I see that you join the challenge, I'll send you my DVD copy. And then if you want a sachet sample of this, it's a full protein shake. It's got 15 grams of protein. It tastes like amazingness, goodness, dessert. You can eat it raw. You can bake with it. You can cook with it. I put it in my coffee as a creamer every morning. That's my coffee creamer with almond or coconut or oat milk and cinnamon and nutmeg. I will mail you physically a copy as a sachet sample if you want one, but you got to message me and let me know, and you can try it. But so that's what the challenge is, and I'm excited to do this challenge with you guys and to have daily life coaching with other coaches that are in there, and I'll be in there to love and support you. And listen, if you don't need to lose weight, you can still join the challenge because there's 21 days of new habits that anybody can benefit from. You know, maybe you just want to improve your health, which I've got, I don't know, I think I've got like 75 people that are already doing the challenge and excited to start it right now before it even starts up. So every week it's going to give you something different, and exercise is part of it. So they are going to tell you to move, you know, but it incorporates basically the whole temple, you know, for you to be able to take care of yourself. So I'm excited to bring that to you and to be a part of that. I'm offering it to every woman that's at my church, in my community. And, you know, I'm gifting the same things to them. And I'm saying, come on, let's do it together. Let's encourage and support each other, and let's grow from this.
You know, I'm in. I said, I've always followed you. So yes, you know, I'm in. Count me in the challenge.
Yeah. So that's
Beckie,
what it is.
You're amazing. I hope you don't mind. I put the site up on the page for everybody to check out. If you follow this link here, it's coachbecky.ladyboss.io. It's not .com, it's .io. @entrepreneurial.com/challenge. And everything that Beckie just talked about, if you sign up there, it's completely for free. You're going to go through this challenge along with Beckie, and having Beckie as your coach is a no-brainer. She's an amazing person, both inside and out, spiritually. Clearly, she's gotten results over the years, and I couldn't speak more highly of somebody in this space. Beckie, you're amazing. Thank you for sharing that information with us. What are any parting words? I know you need to get going, and we've really monopolized a lot of your time tonight. So we'll give you the final word here.
Yeah, no, I can stay for probably another extra 5 minutes. I can't see anyone's comments if they're commenting or if anybody had any questions. You guys, I'm excited for whoever is watching this or hearing this or seeing the playback. I am signed up. We'll send it to you, Facebook user. Okay, all right, I can see a comment here. I'm just excited for us to make a difference. I'm excited to make an impact while making an income. And for any of you that are entrepreneurs and business owners and you're slinging something on the side, you got a side gig and a side hustle, or you're trying to burn the candle at both ends and up the middle like I did, and you got 3 things going on, we all have to make an income, right? But while we're here, I think it's important that we're making an impact while we're making an income. And I think it's important that we all learn how to brand ourselves. And that's something we all want to learn that Drew can teach us. I mean, I'll tell you, Roseanne and I can throw 20 things at the wall, and now we got 20 ideas, and we just need somebody to guide us and tell us where to go. And Drew's the one that's going to help us do that for ourselves and for Fight Club for Women and for our own businesses. And he's going to be able to do that for you too. And if you have a business and you want to build and grow, and you want to make an impact, and you want to make an income, or you want to grow in your personal development and your mind, body, soul, or your life, you can do that here. And we're really trying to beta test this with each other so that we can make mistakes together and grow together. And I'm just excited that you asked me to be a part of this and that you asked me to speak. Somebody wants to know how we met. Okay. All right. Roseanne, you want to take this or you want me to? Go ahead.
Well, we were both, how do I explain this? We were both introduced to the same network marketing company. It was Visalis at the time. And we were brought together in a mentorship under John C. Maxwell, which was incredible. And we connected at this event that we were being personally mentored by John C. Maxwell by, and her and I just sidebarred, and it was like love at first sight. It's like we couldn't get off the phone. We were put together to be part of the LID program. I'm going back now. It's been a long time. So that was 10 years ago. Yeah, about at least 9 years ago when this all went down. And because of our mentorship and how we were brought together, like I said, we just clicked and got on the phone, and we were sharing. We were part of the LID program, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the Leadership and Development Program.
That was under him. It was called the LID program, and so Beckie and I were partnered up. They put us together.
It's accountability partner. So we never knew each other because she's in Pennsylvania and I'm down in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, and and we were, as soon as we got on the phone and started swapping stories of our lives and this and that, it was just like, oh my God, like I was sad that she lived so far away from me. Like we became best friends, and we were in 2 different states, and so the way we were brought together, we were meant to be together. That's the way I looked at it. And how do I even explain this? I'm becoming speechless, and for me to become speechless, and I think I'm getting a little choked up actually, because you're my girl and you know that. So go ahead, you speak.
No, you did a great job. She said it all. She's my Laverne and I'm her Shirley. And you know what? I just, again, I think it was a divine appointment. We had both been single moms. We were both remarried. We were both traditional business owners. We were both running a side hustle in addition to owning businesses. We were both leaders in our community. We both loved encouraging women. And it became a natural fit after we met each other. It was just ironic that we were paired together to be accountability partners. And then we met each other for the first time when we met John C. Maxwell. That was unique. We could meet him, get a photo with him. the two of us together, and it's like we're meeting each other for the first time, and John's like, hey, I'm here. Aren't you getting a photo with me? You know,
Yeah. Yeah. That was,
so I mean, it's become an amazing friendship, and here, there, near, far, however often or few or far between we talk to each other, you know, the love is still there. And there's a lot of common denominators there that a lot of you have been blessed to be a part of with us as part of our own journeys. So that's how we met. That's the story. We're sticking to it.
Yeah, that's it. I had a lot of fun in there in between. Our spouses, we vacation together, hung out together. Our husbands get along great. Like, yeah, many enjoyable times. So it's great to see this swirling back again, because you know, saw that vision years ago.
I know, you know, you're going to be what, 56?
56 in a couple days on Sunday.
Super
Bowl.
56 in a couple of days, right? Early happy birthday. Her birthday's 12th, right?
The 12th. Super
okay,
Bowl.
So guys, remember that, the 12th. So she's going to be 56 and has a million grandchildren and older adult children. And I'm 51 and I still have one in high school and one that's in college. So we're in totally different spectrums lives, like the way our lives are working. Like she's kicking back as a grandma, me mom, just taking care of all the 6 little ones. And I'm like hustle and bustle, go, go, go. I got football, I got practice, I got to help my son schedule classes for school. And I just have to breathe.
But here we are. Here we are.
It's an amazing story.
Yeah,
Beckie, I know that you've got a rest of the evening. You've got other responsibilities to get to, but I wanted to personally thank you for coming on today. You did a lot of work behind the scenes to make it for this episode. I had a blast, and I suspect that we're going to be seeing a lot more of you and a lot more of these podcasts coming on board. So one last time, if anybody wanted to check out Beckie's challenge with what she's got going on, I'm going to pop it on the screen right now. Please do Beckie a solid by going over and signing up for this 21-day challenge. I think you're going to love it. So you can head over to coachbecky.ladyboss.io/challenge. I did put the link in the description up above this video. And somewhere in the comments below, if somebody wouldn't mind resharing or retyping that in, coachbecky.ladyboss.io/challenge to make sure that you guys get involved with this. I think you guys are going to have a blast, and you'll be able to connect directly with Beckie and do a lot of good for yourselves. I think that's a very amazing thing that she's doing, and can't wait to support that. That's really awesome.
Thank you.
So Beckie, any last words? We're going to wrap things up to get a nice clean cut for the podcast. But then if you guys want to stick around for just a little bit after that, I'm going to show you kind of what a little surprise that's going to be coming up relatively soon, probably within the next week or so. But Beckie, if you want to stick around for that, you can do it. Or if you got to go, it's fine as well.
Okay. Thank you. And hey, if you live anywhere near Charlotte, North Carolina, and you need a house wash or a building wash for commercial or residential, we're 30 miles from the Panther Stadium. We've got about 7,000 clients that we've been blessed to serve over 10 years. We work with homeowners associations, property management company, realtor associations, and we've got over 2,500 5-star client reviews. And that's the one thing we're most humble and grateful for, is that our clients refer clients who refer clients and family and friends. And we just take care of the outside, exterior cleaning. I say, if it's green, it'll clean. And we can get you.
It ain't clean until you say it's clean.
Oh, it's actually Pressure Wash Carolina.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah.
I'll edit that for you.
See?
Pressure Wash Carolina.
Yeah.
PwC, we are your service company. Yeah. So no. Pressure wash.
Pressure wash. See?
Pressure. Power wash, right? Pressure wash.
Under pressure.
Perfect.
Pressure. Yeah. Pressure Wash Carolina.
There you go. Which I love. This is, and again, I love the fact that the women are seeing this. And if you like this platform, like you're seeing exactly how we're marketing Beckie, because that's what we're doing right now. Marketing Beckie
for you guys.
You're the tester pet right now that how we're doing this is what we plan on doing for all you women, whoever wants to get on board with this. And exactly what you're saying, this format, it could be done for anybody. So, even though we're having laughs and giggles and being silly back here and explaining things, once we get this thing down, this is what can happen for you also. So,
speaking of which, let's poll everybody right now. If you guys want to be next, if you want to be the next person, next Fight Club for Women guest on the podcast, type in next below, and we'll, Roseanne or Beckie will reach out to you. We'll get you all the information that you need to join us either next week or forthcoming week, and we'll get to hear your story, get to pimp out or
pimp it out.
Right? I'm like messing up all night long here. Right. Well, we get to promote your business here on the podcast. That's so awesome. I apologize for
we got two different versions here. We're gonna pimp it out, or we're gonna promote it.
We're not going to pimp it out. We're going to promote it. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, guys, this is going to conclude this episode of the Fight Club for Women podcast, episode 001, with Beckie, the amazing pressurewashcarolina.com, and coachbecky.ladyboss.io/challenge. Please go ahead and visit those websites. I'm sure Beckie and her husband will appreciate that. And thank you for everybody for tuning in tonight. If you want to stick around for the after show, we're going to go ahead and reveal something that's going to be pretty cool in the next week or two.
You wouldn't tell me that. You might want to stick around.
Stick around. Well, Beckie, thank you so much for hanging out with us. You can stick around. I'm going to show something real quick, and then we'll wrap things up for the night.
All right. Let's see what you got, Drew.
All right. So along with the podcast, a great thing for a resource to promote it would be external to the Fight Club for Women group. There's going to be some episodes that may be internal, right? Too much private information that you may not want to go out there. So it would reside on the inside of Fight Club for Women. The opportunity to really leverage all these other platforms like Apple, iTunes, and Stitcher and all this kind of stuff kind of needs a home base. So I want to show you kind of a sample, maybe something that might be coming in the next week or so, specifically for Fight Club for Women. And let me go ahead and share this with you. You guys can ask any questions that you might want to do. Let me go ahead and share the screen. It should pop up in just a second. Here we go. Now, this isn't Fight Club for Women, but this is a website. And this is a podcast that I run right now. We're going to be adding a whole bunch of other episodes. We just redid this website. It's very simplistic, very, very easy. But what we're going to do for Fight Club for Women is, you're going to have this little banner over here. We're going to design it. It's going to look beautiful for Fight Club for Women. And of course, you're going to have all of your episodes lining up down here. So those of you who are going to become guests on the Fight Club for Women show and the podcast, you're going to have an episode here. You're going to have show notes. And of course, a link to that particular episode. So when we click upon this, you'll see what happens next, right? Another page opens up. And of course, they can listen directly to the podcast right here on the page. All kinds of show notes, all kinds of links going right out to you and your business. So this is what we're going to be looking at, right? And of course, you've got a booking page here. So as we have, we'll have a video of Roseanne here, or perhaps Beckie, or both of them, kind of welcoming people to the booking page. We'll have a calendar where they can actually self-schedule themselves to be a guest on the podcast. So we'll know in advance. We'll be able to get headshots and all kinds of really cool stuff. And of course, we'll be able to give you a media kit, just like we did on this previous page. Once the podcast is live, you'll be able to share this link out to your audience if you want to. You can put it out on the Twitter. You can put it out on Instagram. You can put it out to all the different places like LinkedIn and to YouTube. We're going to have you everywhere. We're going to put you on YouTube. We're going to put you on LinkedIn. We're going to put you on Instagram, inside the Reels, inside the TikToks, all that kind of stuff. More and more exposure for you. So
listen to this. Like, this is huge. This is not just for us.
That's exciting, ladies. That's so exciting for all of us.
Yes. Yeah. See, this is why, Drew. This is why.
Yeah, well, we're going to have some fun with this. Well, hopefully that didn't surprise anybody too much. It's going to be exciting. We're going to help really promote everybody in a very elegant way, in a way that will attract more customers and clients to you with every business that you're doing. If you're considering starting a business, you're trying to figure out this marketing stuff, I'm going to be here alongside probably two of the best marketing geniuses out there in both Beckie and Roseanne to help you do all this kind of stuff, figure out all the pieces, put it together so you get more people opting in, more people following your challenges, more people buying your stuff, downloading your books, all that kind of stuff, right? We want you to exceed and to excel and to profit. So that said, guys, I'm going to go enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you so much for being a guest here. I'll give you the final words, guys, and then we'll wrap things up.
Go ahead, Beckie.
I love all of you, and I love you also for loving us and being patient with us through the process, especially those of you who know who you are and have been along this journey and the ride since the beginning. And for those that just got on board, get ready for a ride, because there's no fluff in our stuff anymore. We really have a plan, and Drew is going to help us with that plan. So we're excited. We're excited for all of you. Thank you, Drew.
All right, guys, have a good night. Thank you for coming out. Again, if you guys want to be next, go ahead and comment below next. Roseanne or Beckie will reach out to you, and we'll find out ways to get you prepared for next week or the weeks beyond that. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid. We don't bite. I think, well, not much. I know that you guys, have some final words on that. But that said, hey, everybody, have a blessed rest of the week. And we'll see you guys next week on the next episode of the Fight Club for Women podcast.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
You love you guys.
Love you.
Bye, Burnett.